Hello, everyone. This is Eric Mastrota with the National Digest, and today we are speaking with Lecia Duke, a lightworker, professional chocolatier, and constantly learning guide who believes that spirituality is woven into the fabric of human existence. From a young age, she felt deeply connected to a world unseen. And in her memoir, Lone Star Chocolatier, she explores the rich tapestry of human emotions and the mystical journey towards self realization. Lecia's story is a poignant reminder of the transformative power of spirituality and the hope it brings even during life's most significant challenges. Hi, Alicia. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Thank you, Eric. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, it's amazing. So, just to get us started, when thinking about the path that you've walked, the phrase raising your vibration or consciousness comes up. And while it's a phrase many people may hear, few fully grasp the depth of that meaning. So, for you, what does that truly involve, and how might someone know that they're on that path?
Okay. Well, in all sciences, consciousness is defined as being awake, aware of your surroundings and yourself. But in spirituality, consciousness refers to a state of awareness that transcends ordinary waking consciousness. It encompasses a deeper understanding of oneself, the world, and the interconnectedness of all things. You need to recognize that humans are pure energy and multidimensional beings. I can name three dimensions right now: physical 3D body, the light body or your soul, and the emotional body, which is your heart and mind combined. We are energy expressed as matter, a denser vibration than light, but we vibrate like everything else in the universe. Dark, heavy emotions are at lower frequencies, while love, bliss, joy vibrate at a much higher frequency. The key to raising your vibration is done by focusing on higher vibrational emotions. This has been validated through Heart Math Institute's research. When we feel an emotional frequency, we project it outward from our heart. We have all experienced running into somebody whose light, happy mood has lifted us up. The same is true for dark, sad moods. Your energetic frequency can affect the energetic frequencies of those around you. One individual operating at a level of 500, which is love, or above, can lift 750,000 people
Mm.
to the level of 200. This has also been documented and validated by Dr. David Hawking. Remember that your body must be in frequency alignment to channel higher frequencies. So get positive. It's a funny thing. In my opinion, everyone is on a spiritual path, or you wouldn't be here. We have been told that dark energies are being brought forth for us to recognize what we want or don't want in our world. We are to exercise our free will and determine a loving path for our world. The trick is that we must break out of the duality of polarity. When anger is thrown at you, don't respond with anger. That keeps you in duality. Disengage, walk away, transcend the duality, change your viewpoint, change your thinking. Ancient texts speak of a specific perspective where the outcome of an event is less important than what you become because of the event. That's timeless. In this world of duality, good versus evil, light versus dark, to acknowledge what is important in your life, sometimes all it takes is for a bully to attempt to take it away. In The Little Soul in the Sun, which is a children's parable I love, written by Neil Donald Walsh, he aptly describes how one little angel or soul offers to be the darkness to help another young angel learn forgiveness. But she asks, as she's donning this cloak of darkness, that he not forget that she is helping him. Think about that. All of us are angels in disguise, teaching or learning. Learn to forgive the lessons given to you. They're not always happy lessons. It opens up a world of blessings.
Awesome. And, just going off of that, you've mentioned before knowing a lot of what you know and learning a lot of what you've learned based on obviously personal experience. So I'm curious if there was a moment for you when the presence of the divine felt almost unmistakable, where you knew you were part of something much greater.
Yes. I have been blessed to have several mystical experiences in this life where the unmistakable presence of the divine literally rocked me to my core. My first out of body experience came years after I was assaulted and I had my neck broken. It seems one is never really over it, but we move on, or so I thought. So 3 years later, I unexpectedly found myself cradled in what I call the lap of God. It was the most blissful experience of my life. It was timeless. I was saturated in unconditional love, surrounded by the deep, black, velvety darkness of space with diamond like stars shining all around. And I was content to just be. I had no worries, no concerns. I was not shunned or rejected for being damaged, as some people made me feel when they heard what happened to me. But I was being shown that I was loved for who I am. However, the most powerful experience was a divine intervention when I attempted to remove myself from this life. The voice did not whisper, it was strong and true. It simply said, "Is this the legacy you leave your daughter?" That was a wake up call. No, I could not abandon my daughter. But then, if I was to be saved, what did that mean? Why was I being saved when others I personally knew had not been saved? It took years to assimilate. The answer that finally came to me was to speak my truth, to tell and share my story. People awaken and easily relate to shared human experiences, which is why Jesus spoke in parables. People understand them. The weight of all my spiritual experiences brought awareness to me from the tapping into Akashic records and getting the experience of living a life in such detail centuries before this one that I had no knowledge of, to hearing deer speak to me and asking me for help, to being healed by a 12th dimensional being. That was fun. All the encouraging spiritual nudges telling me, to be authentic, to be who you are. We must learn to have compassion for others. You have no idea what they are dealing with. Um, we are each a child of creation. You have a purpose in this game of life, each and every one of us. So figure it out.
Yeah, and speaking of sort of these moments of connection to something much greater and these moments of unity throughout humanity, you could argue that these moments are birthed from a lot of forgotten truths that have always existed throughout human history. And you reference a lot of these forgotten truths and ancient teachings like Tesla's views on energy, Hopi wisdom, and so much more. So, from your perspective, what forgotten truths do you think humanity really needs to remember at this time?
Well, everything. We've forgotten so much. We need to seek out spiritual wisdom, remember it, and we need to talk about it. We need to share it. We need to live it. The Essenes were recording spiritual wisdom more than 500 years before Jesus embodied spirit in the flesh to teach us that we could do it too. Ancient prophecies and esoteric teachings reach out across the millennia just for this moment in time. This is a time of cultural transformation. Indigenous peoples' traditions maintain a profound spiritual awareness and connection to Mother Earth. They care for her. They were her first land stewards. Their cultural identity is still intact, and it's about community and harmony with nature. While Western civilization has done its level best to destroy history, mystery schools, all the sacred knowledge, and our connection to the divine, which only fueled separation and conflict, the accuracies and physical manifestations of the century old Hopi spiritual traditions to date are staggering. Just to name two, the elders spoke of a giant talking spider web in their terminology that encircled the earth. First, there was the telegraph, then the telephone, and now the internet. They said when the eagle flew in the night to land on the moon, then we as a society would begin anew. Well, on July 20th, 1969, the Apollo 11 lunar module landed on the moon, and Neil Armstrong announced to the world, the Eagle has landed, fulfilling that prophecy. How exciting! But more exciting, within 7 days of that historic event, the American Religious Freedom Act was introduced in Congress to give Indigenous people of this land the right to openly practice their spiritual beliefs. In the land of free, they were not free to practice their spiritual beliefs. Joseph White Eagle, a Cree spiritual leader and teacher of traditional Native wisdom, said, and I quote, "All the stages of Hopi prophecy have come to pass except for the last, the purification. The intensity of the purification will depend on how humanity collaborates with creation. We must correct and change our ways. We must go back to the spiritual ways and take care of Mother Earth." End quote. Ryan Eisler, Tom Kenyon, and many others have spoken about the days of patriarchal domination ending and a return of the honoring of the feminine. There shall be recognition that we have to change how we live in relationship to Mother Earth, the great feminine. We will know I think we know now, with unyielding certainty, that it takes two energies, both male and female, to bring human civilization through the portal of these times. There's so much more. Anyway.
Oh, that's great. Because we keep going back to this idea of just connection and unity in general. And in our previous conversations, you said something to me that was multiple faiths have the tenets we need to understand. So going down a spiritual path can be key to gaining a greater understanding. But in our world today, there's a lot of misconceptions regarding taking that path. So, from your perspective, what's one thing people often misunderstand about taking a spiritual path?
Well, first of all, it's very personal. It's a personal quest. It's a choice. It's your choice. And it requires action on your part. When life gets so unbelievably hard, change your thinking. We can consciously change the quantum field with our own heart mind energies. The belief that an alien intelligence or a spiritual master will save you is kind of unrealistic. Ascension is a process of self awareness, self mastery on all levels, and it requires bringing all those levels of one's existence upward in a spiral of ascension. You are not bound by the constraints of space, time, or history. The doorway to your reality of who you are is through spiritual vibration. Find a way to live in joy, happiness, and love, all higher vibrations. Don't suck down into the darkness of other vibrations. This is a rare and precious opportunity to be on earth at this time. The experiences created in this world add to your understanding and depth of your spiritual being. From the vantage point of your greater self, the interdimensional reality of who you are, your own soul.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. And with all of these lessons we're talking about, there's really a really great sense of purpose among the world and all of us in it. It's a world that's constantly changing, and we've all are experiencing it at different times. So at this moment now, what do you personally believe is the deeper spiritual purpose of humanity at this time?
Um, in my opinion, it is recognizing our divinity and coming together. I I once asked my higher self if my life was about clearing up past karma, and the answer that came back surprised me. The answer was learning the depth of my soul. Wow. Think about that. Since every life experience is indeed etched on our soul, and the soul is eternal, layer upon layers of life experiences across millennia are all together in one place, inside of me or you. How magical is that? The ever surprising layers of life, complexity of this earthly experience continue to amaze me. What a ponderous quest. But yes, looking back on my current life at how many spiritual glimpses or darshana have I been given to see into the richness of life, the sanctity of life, to explain, to ponder, or to tease me into newer, deeper understandings of this corporal and sacred life. I mean, beliefs and faiths, and they're all thought with feelings. Beliefs can easily change as you change your thoughts. Only the power of love can heal. Love is eternal, and that's consistent throughout all everything.
Mm.
Beliefs coupled with the feelings in our hearts can create powerful magnetic fields, 5,000 times more powerful than brain waves,
Mm.
which can physically change matter, change DNA, change our world. This was originally discovered in 1901 and then more recently measured and proven with the discovery of thousands of brain cells in the human heart. Greg Braden covers that, and it is fascinating. It was in 1998, I believe. We all come from the same source. It's time to acknowledge, recognize, and actively, no, consciously create a world of love instead of hate, a new kind of world worth living in. And I'll quote my favorite quote from none other than Jimi Hendrix. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, then we will know peace.
So positive, and going right off of that, from there, what is giving you hope right now in the direction we're heading as a species, as a planet, as a collective?
So much. The excitement and anticipation of something that I felt deep inside, but I could not share for more than 65 years is finally here. It's real. Ancient teachings, legends, and prophecy foretold centuries ago are now real and validated through science and through human experience. This is the great shift of consciousness that has been foretold into a new, more loving, fifth dimensional human world. The shift from the fourth to the fifth cannot be stopped any more than the dawn of a new day. We are in the midst of this transformational change in dimensions, and healing is essential. For you've got to forgive yourself. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be telling people what to do, but forgive yourself and all others. This is the creative potency. It is the process of creation itself. You are feeling the tension between two different dimensional worlds. Part of this chaotic phase is simply the shift from one dimensional consciousness to another. And we're not sure what that is. Old views don't really work, and the new views haven't yet come into usable expression. So we're kind of in no man's land, um, as it were. As more, but more and more people every day are experiencing paradigm shifts. They're driven by sudden spiritual understandings. Each time this happens, the old world, the fourth dimension, is undermined. But just like any birthing process, there is pain. But focus on the blessings to come. Step out of the fear based collective mind control and manipulation that is so hypnotizing the world at large. If we can transcend the messages of fear projected on each of us, find your spiritual center, raise your consciousness simultaneously, transform. I mean, you can work as easily as in your community. Transform your local community, be kinder, be accepting, even as the world around you appears to fall apart. This takes a greater degree of spiritual mastery. You have the ability of affecting your own destiny in distinctive ways. Focus on transcending your own limitations of thinking. Release the old thinking. Just breathe, release, trust, create space for stillness. This leads to the still point of your own consciousness. And it's quiet there, it's reassuring. Your realization of your own divinity. The shift is initially subtle, but here's a key: practice gratitude relentlessly. Gratitude tunes you into the abundance of the fifth dimension, which brings more patience, stability, resilience, and peace. We change the world by changing ourselves individually. When we become aware, we think of ourselves differently. In the past, we've been steeped in lies and separation, conflict and competition by others who love to create chaos. Yet twice we have proven our willingness and ability to act as a global family. It happened in both 1988 and 2001, when we collectively, literally, changed the world through love and compassion. The singing revolution of 1988, when thousands of Estonian voices united in a nonviolent resistance by singing their peaceful intention to end Soviet occupation. Their passionate efforts cracked open the hardened hearts of the military. Literally, weapons were dropped, tanks and troops turned around and left. Some of the troops actually sang with the Estonians. The human voice has an innate capacity to communicate thought forms and subtle energies. When our voice is aligned with higher vibrational intention, then sound has a power it does not possess otherwise. This has also been validated by science. But remember, when two or three are gathered together, the I am is present as a third energy. The second thing was the impact of the events of 9/11, which caused a global human reaction within 15 minutes of the second plane hitting the Twin Towers in New York. The devastating event had been communicated around the world in record time, and the entire world, felt compassion for those lost and those left behind. Together, we spiked Mother Earth's Schumann resonance literally off the charts. Mother Earth heard us. We are connected magnetically and energetically to Mother Earth. She is changing her planetary status, and we must change with her. Greg Braden stated, and I quote, "The deeper we can connect to Mother Earth's magnetic field, we are feeding the field. We can consciously promote cooperation. The universal field, quantum field, that connects all things recognizes that the things we believe in with all our heart, this equals harmony." End quote. Each time we embody truth and love, the entire quantum field shifts. It responds. Your awakening impacts a planetary shift in positive ways. We can consciously unite to save the world, to save humanity by changing ourselves individually. We have the resources to clean up the oceans, to generate electricity without greenhouse gases, to feed everyone, and to abolish hunger if we just focus collectively on feeling love and compassion in our heart, instead of continuing to spend resources on killing each other. In the past, it's always been a futile war for nothing but the sake of war and chaos, which I find silly. Our science is only just beginning to explore the magnificent interplay between the human body and the spiritual, energetic being within. We have a lot to be thankful for and even more to look forward to.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. With all of these amazing lessons, teachings, and connections that we've been talking about right now, I'm curious too from you, if you could whisper one truth to every soul on the planet, what would that be?
Well, first of all, we need we need to honor the gifts we've been given. We need to all acknowledge, honor, and recognize your life, your soul, all aspects of you, your history, your family, your creativity, your skills. You've been given everything you need to succeed in this life. So pay attention to detail. But more than anything, express gratitude for the gifts you have been given. Feel that gratitude in your heart. Project that gratitude from your heart into the world. Learn to alter the quantum field through your own power of focus. Holding your focus on appreciation and gratitude, which are the most powerful expressions of the human heart, has been proven that the energy fields of the human heart can change physical matter. We could do so much together.
Wow. Well, Lecia, just thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today, dive into these topics a little bit more, and just share everything that you shared. I really do appreciate it.
Oh, well, Eric, I appreciate the opportunity to speak on these subjects. They're really deep. There's a lot to them.
Yes,
So it's it's been a joy. Thank you.
definitely. And exactly just like Lecia said, there's a lot more to him. So for people back home to learn more about what Lecia Duke and I discussed today, to read her book, and for more information about her work in general, you can check out the links in our description. And once again, I'm Eric Mastrota with the National Digest. Take care, everybody.